Hello. Welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name is Jason Newland, and hello, hope you're well. Just to let you know what this is it's kind of a, relaxing, boring, pointless, tedious, repetitive podcast. But the idea, even though some of those words may seem negative, it's not really, because the idea is that at the very least it can be a distraction. At the very least, it can be a distraction from how you're feeling, or as if you want to be distracted from how you're feeling, you may feel great. So what this will just add to that, you just feel even better. Helps you to feel relaxed. Gives your mind an opportunity to slow down. Because one of the things that people have told me over the centuries is that one of the main causes, one of the main obstacles to falling asleep for some people is an overactive mind. Now, I think because I've got a very underactive mind myself, because everything is very, very slow motion with me. I talk slow, I think slow, I walk slowly. Everything I do is pretty much slow. So that by listening or watching me can almost allow you to tune in with me. There's a bit of a buzzing going on with this. I'm going to turn this, unplug the computer. Oh, that's it. Brilliant. That was lovely. Thanks for that. Thanks for that nice sound. I'll put it on mute now. Why didn't you do that before? I didn't realise it was going to make a sound. That's why. Oh yeah, only listen when you can safely close your eyes. So that's kind of why I'm doing this, and why I've been doing it for 5 years. This Let Me Bore You to Sleep is because the idea is just to, it's subtle, it's gradual, progressive, in other words that kind of mean the same thing. Letting yourself relax, giving yourself permission to let go. Yeah, that's it really. So thanks for listening. Bye! Right, let me have a look. What have I got on here? I'm going to check my stats, but I'm not going to do that because I know how much people enjoy that. So, I was talking yesterday or the day before about wanting to look in the newspapers or look on the news websites and try and find some uplifting stories, some humorous articles or stuff like that. And what I thought I'd try and do is use GPT. GPT. Now, I imagine most people know what GPT is, but if you don't know what it is, it's AI. It's the most famous AI thing at the moment, and it's called Chat GPT. It's part of the OpenAI.com franchise or whatever. And basically, you can search for stuff. Oh, got something on my ear. That's weird. Oh, I hope it's not another flea. It might be. You never know. Vinny loves running around in the long grass. For some reason, fleas seem to like long grass, which is weird considering how tiny they are. Why would they be so specific to want? No, it can't be in the short grass, even though the short grass is still 1,000 times longer than we are. No, it must be long grass. Very greedy. Need a lot of space, maybe. Chat GPT. It's something that you can build stuff on. You can ask questions. You can search. I mean, originally it was just Chat GPT, and you could search the database, ask questions, and I think they basically made a map of the internet up to 21st of September 2021, something like that. Very specific, wasn't it? But after that, if you asked a question, for example, if you asked a question, who's the Prime Minister? And it would say Boris Johnson. Now, we've had about 16 Prime Ministers since him. So, it wasn't up to date. And then they introduced GPT-4. Still wasn't up to date. But it was faster, it was more concise. And then they introduced plugins, and we can now search the internet using Bing. And there's a lot of different plugins. There's plugins where you can ask PDF files questions. I want to say PDF files, PDF. You got to say it quite slowly. PDF files. If you say it too quickly, it sounds wrong. Why would I want to ask them questions? No, PDF, like, digital. Like books come in that format that you would read on, digital books and stuff. So anyway, there's lots of different plugins, so it's quite good. It's quite warm in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to browse with Bing, and I'm going to ask GPT. It doesn't do voice activated. It might do it on, I don't know. I mean, I've got the, where is it? My plan. You can, because it's so popular, you can't always get a response. So if you pay $20 a month, on top of that there is tax, so it's about $24 a month or something. But you can get it. It's available even when demand is high, faster response speed, priority access to new features. So I just signed up for that because I was intending to use it, and I want to learn how this stuff works, because it's not just about the GPT, it's other stuff. It helps you with so there's an app called Midjourney, which is an image creating app, or an image creating AI platform. And I don't like it because you need to use Discord, and it's like having to go between different things. they're trying to sort that out, so you're just in one place. Stay in one place. I'm happy with that. I don't want to keep going to different places, and that for me that doesn't work. But it's very popular, and you can make some of the most beautiful images. And one of the reasons, or one of the things, the most important things for those kinds of AI apps is prompts, is what you put in, what you ask for. And if you ask for certain things in a certain way, using the correct terminology, the correct words, it could be the difference between an average image and a spectacular image. So Chat GPT can help you with prompts, which is quite cool. It can also, let's say if you've got a transcript, you could put, or maybe not a whole transcript, but you can put in a transcript of a podcast and say, give me a summary, or give me keywords, tag words, whatever, so I can put them into the search engine, help the search engine find your stuff. There's lots of things there. I mean, for one thing, I can just ask. I just realised this microphone is very close to the keyboard. If I can move this around a little bit. That's better. Right, so if I ask it... Oh, it's now gone. Where'd it go? Where'd it go to? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Come on. Come on. Oh, blimey. Oh, good. So, find me... I want some news. Some uplifting news. So, search... So, I'm going to do... Browse with B. Okay. Search web for 10... I'm going to move around here for a second. 10 uplifting news stories. So it's doing that. Browsing the web. Let's see what happens. Let's see what occurs. Clicking on a link. Now I'm hoping it just doesn't search online for a web article that says 10 uplifted news stories, which I think it might do. I'm hoping that it will actually search through the different, news websites to find stuff, but I might need to be a bit more specific if I wanted to do that. Okay, so it's starting to come up. Here are 10 uplifting news stories. The first one, Mother Teresa of Vietnam. I've read this one before. Ms. Hoyeth Tui Huang overcame decades of homelessness to help hundreds of orphans. So that's a nice story. Number 2, blue whales have returned to California at levels not seen since before the whaling industry. Okay, that's nice. Mentioned the whaling industry isn't quite so, but yeah, apart from that. Number 3, a woman found 4 plates for $6 made by Picasso at a thrift store, which moved her to tears. Okay. Why did she drop them? I mean, why was she crying? I kind of want to know more. I want to know more. Number 4, Rome finally opened to the public the spot where Julius Caesar met his end at senators' hands. How's that an uplifting story? Blimey. Number 5, a man aims to make economy class more spacious with innovative double-decker aircraft seats. Oh, when it said economy class, I thought it was talking about like a university course. I thought, double-decker aircraft seats? Surely there's enough room in the university. So make economy class more spacious. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool, I suppose. Number 6, a 90-year-old earned a judo belt level reached by only 6 people in the nation. Good, that's a lovely story. A 90-year-old. Now, it's not that he's got his black belt, which in itself would kind of almost be a bigger thing, because it meant that he'd maybe started doing judo at age 85 and he got his black belt at 90. But this is someone that's, if he's reached a level that only other 6 people in the nation, doesn't say which nation, then he's probably been doing judo for decades and decades and decades. But good for you. Wow. Number 7, a diver cleaning the ocean floor found a new iPhone still working in a waterproof bag and returned it to its owner. Wow. How do you clean the ocean floor? Vacuum cleaner? Mop? I don't know. How do you do that? What are the chances of finding an iPhone? How did he know who it belonged to? How do you know it was a man? Why do you assume it was a man? He, all the time, he. It's just easier just to say he or she. 8, a dazzling ancient bronze sword found in Germany still shines after 3,400 years. Cool. Number 9, clean fuel was made by pulling CO2 from air and plastic waste, powered only by the sun and photosynthesis. Isn't that what creates plants to grow? Photosynthesis. Was that how they develop pictures? I don't know. So that's good. A clean fuel was made by pulling CO2 from the air. CO2 is air, isn't it? So that's the oxygen. So by pulling the oxygen from the air, I used to believe, well, until about a week ago, I used to think that air was oxygen. I did. It's like, yeah, but it is. No, but it's not all oxygen. What percentage of air is oxygen? Okay, so I was surprised at this. What percentage of air is oxygen? It's going to depend on the country, to be fair. So the percentage of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere is approximately 20% by volume, 21%. That's average across the world. Only 21% of the air is oxygen. I'm not sure what to do with that fact. Number 10, a man became friends with a fish, and the pair meet every summer in the same Wisconsin lake. Okay, I need more information on that one. I do. I'm going to look at that website. Good News. Oh, Good News. There's a website called Good News Network. Blimey. All of this stuff. This is ridiculous. See, Chat GPT has not gone through the news websites. It's just gone to one website, goodnewsnetwork.org. Every single one of those stories, the 1 to 10, were on this one page. Blimey. So, Grandad wins gold in arm wrestling after taking up sport 3 years ago. Okay, but then and it has a negative bit there, so I'll get rid of that. Black hole emits jets of X-rays 60,000 times hotter than the sun. The brightest quasar ever observed. I understood some of those words. NASA unveils an X-plane they hope will save Earth. Okay. So this is man becomes friends with fish. There's a picture of a man in a snorkel, with thing. And there's a fish just looking at him. They're underwater. I guess that's the best way to meet, really, isn't it? If you're going to meet a fish, underwater is probably the best place to meet. I mean, you can meet in Costa's Coffee, but it's not really fair on a fish, is it? But they can't drive. A diver cleaning ocean floor finds, okay. Dazzling ancient bronze found in Germany still shines after 3,400 years. Wow. There's some people that believe that the Earth was only created less time ago than that, isn't there? I don't know, because I wasn't there, so I don't know when the world started. Apparently, the whole Big Bang Theory is wrong. Scientists have discovered. Not making that hugely public, are they? But yeah, apparently they've discovered stuff in space thanks to they've got a new telescope that's up there, and it's not really up there though, because it could be down there. Either way, it's outside of this planet, isn't it? It's up there, it's wherever. Could be there. Might be there, I don't know, but it's somewhere. And they've found stuff. I think what it is, if I get it right, is there's a theory that the stars that we're looking at are generally burnt out suns. A lot of them, they're burnt sun, they're gone. But it's such a long time ago that it just takes millions of years to get, we're still getting it, but it's time and distance, and you can tell I don't know what I'm talking about, can't you? Good. Well, now they've discovered as they can get closer to it, magnification wise, what should happen is it should become dimmer. The light should be dimmer as you get closer, because it kind of ain't there no more. And the closer you get to it, the dimmer it gets. Or brighter it gets. One of them. I don't know what. But anyway, apparently they say, well, this doesn't make sense because it's the opposite to what we thought it was before. Now, it helps if you know what they thought before. And also helps if you know what they've discovered would make that story a bit more interesting and perhaps make more sense. I'm not sure I did it that much justice, if I'm honest. Never mind. I'm going to give this another go. Right. Search through BBC News websites for 10 good news stories. 10 positive, should I say positive news stories. Oh no, the computer's starting to smoke. No understand. Search through BBC News website for 10 positive news stories. It's not moving particularly quickly. It's really struggling with that one. Now, I'm not going to ask for it to go through the Mail newspaper website to find positive and uplifting news stories, because I don't think it's going to come up with anything. Site bbc.co.uk positive news stories 2023. So even though it's on Chat GPT, I can't even say it, GPT 4, and it's the premium one, it still takes a while. But then I'm asking it to do quite a big thing, aren't I? It will be quicker. The new updates are going to make it quicker. Eventually. See, the thing about this is Bing. It's using Bing. Bing uses Chat GPT in the Bing search engine, so you can find stuff and as part of Bing. But Bing is just a personal opinion. The actual page. So I'll open up the page. This is Bing, okay? It's just non-stop stories. And at the top, search the web, but it's all this stuff that's just, it's adverts and pictures, and it's kind of clickbait. The whole thing is clickbait. And I'll be honest with you. Oh, wait a minute. Curvy mum says she gets filthy looks from parents on the school run. Let me just check this out. Okay, I'll save that for later. So yeah, it's this stuff on it. I just don't want to see it. It's like, it's not because I'm offended. It's distracting. Google, if I go to Google, it just tells, finish browsing. There was an error. There was an error generating a response. Searching the BBC News channel's websites for positive news stories. Of course, that's going to be complicated, because that's not what the BBC. That's not what any news channel is about, is it? A positive news story? What you mean? Have a news story that causes the viewer or the reader to feel nice inside? What? Okay, our fat is coming up. So this is 10. Here are 10 uplifting news stories from the BBC over the last 300 years. Okay, number 1. A father and son duo team up as beach lifeguards. That's nice. Number 2, a former teacher continues to help children to learn to read at 91. Why are the children still at school at 91? I mean, I've heard of being kept back, but blimey. I mean, I was behind. I was when I was at school, because this is the early 80s, I was classed as a dunce. I was in the dunce class. Now, the thing is, I'm not including myself in this, but a lot of the other kids in the dunce class were interesting. They were the most interesting kids in the year, because they weren't in the dunce class because they were unintelligent. It's because they just wouldn't do what they were told. And maybe that's, I don't know, what I was a mixture of that, I guess. Anyway, a person's life, no, this is number 3. A person's life improved significantly after surviving. Exactly. Why? That's not even a positive. That's not a positive story, because they're focusing on something that really bad that happened. Like, just move away. Number 4. Birmingham is identified as the luckiest place for lottery players. Cool. That's a nice. That's a bit pointless, but it was a nice story. I mean, it's a long way to go to buy some lottery tickets, but hey. Number 5. 2 dolphins were successfully returned to the sea after a beach rescue. Cool. See, none of them sound particularly. I mean, that's obviously, it's a nice thing, but none of the stories sound particularly positive. I mean, they are positive, but do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay. A former prisoner secures his first job after 22 years. So, yeah, good, but you folk, it's like, I'm thinking 22 years. That's a long time. But good for him or her. Number 7. A woman donates her wedding dress. No, exactly. No, I'm not going to read the rest of it, because it's also focusing on a negative thing. Number 8. A missing dog was found in an ambulance after. A missing dog was found in an ambulance after an 8-month search. So the ambulance was missing for 8 months. Wow. How does an ambulance go missing for 8 months? I mean, they're quite big, aren't they? And they've got the word ambulance on the side. And you think people would notice an ambulance driving around being driven by a dog, you know? By a lassie. Number 9. A climber was found during a rare rescue operation in the Everest. Again, there's a zone that's named this, which has got a negative term. Positivity, everybody, a bit of positivity. Number 10. Hollywood stars donate £5,000 to a charity football match. That's nice. This was a better response, so I'm going to put better. Now, I'm going to see whether or not the link goes to exactly the same page every time. And they're all on the same. Yeah. Uplifting Stories. This is the BBC. It's actually a page called Uplifting Stories. Kitten stuck in rain pipe for 3 days found. happy. That's good. Pop star, Village Green bid, or Eurovision hopeful May Muller returns to school. Unfazed officer delivers a baby on the highway. A stranger I met at the beach gave me her kidney. That'd be a bit of a weird meeting, wouldn't it? I've met a couple of strangers in the past that give me their telephone number, but wow. Oh, before you go, take this. What is it? It's my kidney. For another right, okay, so they really struggle with what positivity means. So what should we do? Okay, Fox News. Do the same with Fox News. Fox News. Let's see if there's uplifting stories from Fox News. There's gotta be. Cite Fox News 10 positive news stories 2023. So this is like the whole year so far. I couldn't get 10 for one day. That'd be. I'm gonna probably need your help with this. I mean, what represents a positive news story? I mean, I guess for me, it wouldn't be a news story, but a little story would be when I went to university, I struggled and I found it very difficult. But I was helped by people on my course, one person particularly, who I wouldn't have my degree without her. But also other people helped me as well on the course. And I nearly pulled out a few times because it just, I didn't, at the time, I didn't know I had bipolar, you see. So again, that's perhaps not a positive thing to focus on, but this is about me, so it's fine. It's fine. I'll give myself a pass. And I wasn't diagnosed until 2011 December. So I finished college and I finished university 2010. When I graduated, they gave me a certificate of achievement, as well as my diploma or my degree certificate. And I said, "What was that? What was that for?" Because I didn't really understand. He said the person in charge of the course said, "Because of what you went through and the fact that you still stuck at it." So for me, the positive side is good on me. I felt quite good about myself that I did it, but I did it with help. And if I hadn't have had that help, I wouldn't have stuck the course. So, yeah. Oh, Fox News managed to get 4. They found 4 in this year so far. So here we go. Number 1, a Las Vegas man introduced his son to the firefighter who saved the dad's life 23 years ago. That is a nice story. I like that. That's nice. Here's something I'd like to, this when I was about 6 months old. This is the story. It's not a negative story, but it's I lived with foster parents from the age of 6 months till about 2 years. Now I've never seen those foster parents since, and I don't remember them because I was so little, so young, and it's a long time ago. I don't know how old they were at the time. They might have been They might have been elderly. They might have been in their 40s or 50s, which means there's a chance they're not around anymore. I don't know. But what I do know is that they had me and one of my brothers for that period of time, a year and a half, whatever it was. And they wanted to adopt us. So they clearly loved us. And there's something about, I don't know, to love a child that isn't yours is almost, it feels like almost a stronger love in some ways. It's not, I don't know where I'm going, but I can see it'd be quite easy to love your own child, but to love someone else's child and to want to devote your life to raising from a very young age, and it's a lifelong thing, isn't it? So they were clearly amazing people. They didn't have to adopt. They were just looking after us for a little while. The point I'm trying to, I'd like to see them. I'd like to, I don't know where they are. I don't know what their names are. I don't know anything. They did live in Enfield, North London, as far as I'm aware. I would love to meet them to say thank you, because that was probably potentially my most stable period of my life as a child, and they clearly loved me. And that period of 6 months to 2 years is, well, between being born and 2 years, 3 years old or whatever, that's one of the most important periods of your life, like for learning and developing and all that stuff emotionally. So I had a really healthy period with them. So I'd love to meet them. I'd love to just to say thank you, or not even meet them necessarily, but I might meet them and recognise them. You know, they might be in my psyche. They're her face, his face. I'm guessing there was two. I don't know. But you know, I was a little baby looking up at her and him, and I grew up from that to being able to talk, I guess, and walk and all that stuff with them. So they were there for such an important part of my life, and I got no idea who they are, or, you know, I'd like to just say thanks to them, really, because the hugely important part of my life that I've never been able to really, I can't remember it. I can't remember them. But I wonder if I saw her or him, like, oh, they look familiar. I don't know if it works like that. Anyway, number 2. A 99-year-old Florida woman shared advice about living a long and positive life in a video that went viral on Instagram. I've seen a few of those videos. People that are like 101 or 120 or whatever, talking about their life and their advice. I remember there was one bloke, he said, yeah, drink gin every day, like, just drink alcohol. Like, I don't think that's probably the best advice. It worked for me. Oh, I remember my nan. Of course I remember my nan, because she's my nan. No, but I remember I think someone said to her, I don't know who it was, said to her, my nan, I think it was one of her kids, one of my uncles or aunts, or maybe my dad, I don't know. I don't think my dad would have said it to her, but he said, why are you putting so much sugar in your tea? Because my nan would put lots of sugar in. The main reason she would put sugar in is because her taste had gone. You know, hearing, her eyes, everything had kind of gone. She was so old. She was like 94, 95 when she left, and 96 maybe. But her taste buds had pretty much gone. So the only way she could taste it was by putting a lot of sugar in. And I don't know if it was my aunts or someone like that said, "Mum, you're putting too much sugar in your tea." She said, "How is that going to affect me? How's that going to be harmful to me? I'm 95 years old. I've had sugar in my tea my whole life." And I think she said something like, "How old do you think you're going to be? Hey, how many? Come back to me when you're 95. I thought she might not have said that. I probably made it up. But it's like, it basically, leave me alone. I'm 95 years old. I don't need to be told how many sugars I'm allowed in my tea. And then she's going on about, nearly every doctor I've ever had, they're not even alive anymore. They didn't have any sugar in their tea. She didn't say that either. But she made a good point, though. It's like, well, if you get to be 95, if you're lucky enough, some people don't class it as luck, but if you are lucky enough to live to be that old, to be that age, do whatever you want to do. And most do. Most 95-year-olds that I've ever met, they do what they want to do, they say what they want to say. They don't care anymore. Because it doesn't matter. Because they realise after all those years that they might as well just be themselves. And if they want to have a burger, if they want to have sugar, or if they want to swear, or if they want to drink alcohol, they'll do it. And I think my nan started drinking. She'd have a little drink before she went to bed. And she started doing that, I think, when she was in her 90s. Oh, my camera's about to run out. Oh, well. So, the next one, a police force unveils a new tractor named Optimus Prime thanks to a 4-year-old Transformers fan. Number 4, a son donated his kidney to save his dad's life as the ultimate Father's Day gift. Cool. I knew someone that he was a comedian, and he basically got married and whatever, and then he had kidney failure, and his wife donated her kidney to him to save his life. And I thought, what if that relationship perhaps doesn't go quite to plan? You can never leave. You can never leave. You're there forever. Because what happens? Because at the end of a relationship, I want my stuff back. I want my CDs. That's my bed. That's my television. Well, that's my kidney. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. Be gentle with yourself and do something nice today. Do something that perhaps you haven't done for a while. Something that makes you feel good. Doesn't have to cost money. Just something that feels nice. Pamper yourself. Treat yourself kindly. Just give it a go. See how it feels. And I will speak to you again tomorrow. Thanks for listening or watching. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. La 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 la.